Morning we completed how molecular orbitals are formed. That is, atomic orbitals combination gives molecular orbitals. Number of atomic orbitals involved in mixing is equal to number of new orbitals formed. Those are called as molecular orbitals. Those orbitals involved in mixing are from different atoms of the molecule, but having same energy. So the newly formed orbitals by the combination of these atomic orbitals are called as the molecular orbitals present in the molecule. Okay, but half of the molecular orbitals having less energy than atomic orbitals, and half of the molecular orbitals having more energy. Less energetical molecular orbitals. See boys, here 1s orbital mixed with 1s orbital. 1s orbital of first oxide and 1s orbital of second oxide. These two 1s orbitals having same energy. That means these two involved in mixing, half of the orbitals having less energy and half of the orbitals having more energy than that of these atomic orbitals. Okay, those less energetical orbitals are called as bonding orbitals, and more energetical orbitals are called as anti-bonding orbitals. Bonding orbitals, anti-bonding orbitals. So that means the total sum of these two orbitals is equal to sum of these two orbitals. But the energy lost by atomic orbital, this molecular orbital is equal to energy gained by this orbital. That means anti-bonding orbitals having more energy, bonding orbitals having less energy. So these are the different molecular orbitals, because this is O2 molecule. So O2 molecule having these orbitals, that is, these are orbitals are called as the molecular orbitals. So these are, see here, this one, these red that is connected red colored orbitals. So these orbitals having less than that of those orbitals. These orbitals. So these orbitals are called as bonding orbitals. These orbitals which are not ticked with red pen end, so those orbitals are called as anti-bonding orbitals. Now I am trying to distribute these total electrons in these orbitals. These molecular orbitals can also follow our electronic configuration rules, that is Aufbau rule, Hund's rule, and Pauli's exclusion principle. What is this Aufbau rule? Those are electrons first filled with available orbitals having low energy. Those available orbitals having low energy, first electron entered into those low energy orbitals, and then so energy increasing order, those electrons are going to be filled. That is Aufbau rule. Next, Hund's rule. Wherever degenerate orbitals are there, so each orbital filled with one electron, and then pairing takes place. That is Hund's rule. Pauli's exclusion principle. An orbital can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons. An orbital can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons, which is called as, or that is Pauli's exclusion principle. So now these molecular orbitals can also follow these 3 rules. Now see boys, I am distributing the electrons. See here 2 electrons, here 2 electrons, total 4 electrons. First low energetical orbital and then high energetical orbital. So that is why 1, 2, 3, 4. First these are electrons, this orbital is filled, and then this orbital. So these 4 electrons are distributed here. Next, 2 plus 2, total 4 electrons. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 electrons are filled in. These 4 electrons are completed. Now here 2, 3, 4, total 4 electrons. 2, 3, 4, 4 electrons. Total 8 electrons are there. Those electrons are filled here. Those electrons are filled here. See here 1, 2, 1, 2. Now these 2 orbitals having same energy, because the same energy, that is, these are called as degenerate orbitals. So wherever degenerate orbitals are available, each orbital filled with 1 electron, and then pairing takes place. That is according to our Hund's rule. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This orbital is in empty end. This orbital is empty. So this is the way to fill those electrons. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 8. Total 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 8, 10, 14, 15, 16. Total 16 electrons are filled here. Okay. So these are the electrons present in different molecular orbitals. Twice. These electrons, these orbitals for both the oxygen atoms. So these orbitals, these electrons are influenced by both the oxygen atoms, two oxygen atoms. So these electrons are attracted by both the oxygen atoms. Electrons present in the molecular orbitals, so influenced by both the nuclei of bonded atoms. Both the nuclei of bonded atoms, that is all the nuclei of atoms, all the nuclei of atoms. Now, what is the orbital energy order? So from lower to upper, energy is increasing because this is the potential energy increasing direction. So lower to upper, energy is increased. Therefore, this orbital, among all these orbitals, this orbital having least energy. So that is the sigma 1s energy is less than that of sigma star 1s energy, and which is less than that of sigma 2s, which is less than that of sigma star 2s, which is less than that of sigma 2p, etc. So generally, z-axis is the molecular axis. So along z-axis, we expected sigma bonds. Y-axis and x-axis, we expected pi bond. That is why. So sigma 2pz is sigma means sigma bonding means. So sigma molecular orbital. So sigma star 2s less than sigma 2pz, which is less than pi 2px, but these two orbitals having same energy boys. These two, that is right. Pi 2px is equal to pi 2py. Those are less than pi star 2px is equal to pi star 2py because these two orbitals also having same energy, which is less than sigma star 2pz. This is the way I did. See here. Sigma 1s, so see, check. See here, from bottom to top. Sigma 2s less than sigma star 2s. Sorry, sigma 1s less than sigma star 1s, less than sigma 2s, less than sigma star 2s. So see, just bottom to top. Less than sigma 2pz, less than pi 2px is equal to pi 2py. Pi 2px is equal to pi 2py. Less than pi star 2px is equal to pi star 2py, less than sigma star 2pz. This is the order of energy of different molecular orbitals in O2 molecule. Not only O2 molecule, those molecules having greater than 14 electrons is also applicable for this product. This is the energy order of different molecular orbitals having molecules greater than 14 electrons. Greater than 14 electrons. Sorry. Okay, so that is the energy order of different molecular orbitals. Now I am trying to write electronic configuration of these molecular orbitals. Electronic configuration of these molecular orbitals. See here, I am writing sigma 1s contains 2 electrons. Sigma star 1s contains 2 electrons. So those electrons are mentioned here. So therefore, electronic configuration of molecular orbitals of O2. That is sigma 1s2, sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, sigma star 2s2, sigma 2pz2, sigma 2pz2. Next, pi 2px2, pi 2py2, pi 2px2, pi 2py2. Next, pi star 2px1 and pi star 2py1 and pi star 2px1, pi star 2py1. So that is the electronic configuration of these molecular orbitals. So that is electronic configuration. So of these molecular orbitals. See boys, sometimes. So see, just a minute. Sigma 1s, sigma star 1s, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s, pi 2pz. Okay. So these are the electronic configurations. So generally, in an orbit, see here, this is the nucleus of the atom. This is first orbit. This is second orbit. These are the third orbit. Okay. First orbit is taken as K shell. Second orbit is taken as L shell. Third orbit is taken as M shell. So that means those orbitals present in the first orbit is 1s. That is nothing but K shell. K shell. So that is why. So this is represented. This is represented with K. This is represented with K star. K star. K star. That is the electronic configuration K shell. K is the bonding and K star is the anti-bonding. So that means, so along that is, these two are replaced in sometimes. These two are replaced in sometimes as K star after that common. After that common. So that is the electronic configuration of these molecular orbitals. Now, this molecular orbital diagram is very helpful to predict the magnetic property of the element. So, is O2 paramagnetic or diamagnetic? So, that is explained. If any one of these molecular orbitals having at least one unpaired electron, if any one of these molecular orbitals having at least one unpaired electron, those molecules are paramagnetic. Orbitals, molecular orbitals having at least one unpaired electron, that is called as paramagnetic. So, is there any unpaired electron, my dear boys? Tell me. In these molecular orbitals, is there any unpaired electron? Yes. How many unpaired electrons, Nitin? How many unpaired electrons are there? 2 only. Yes. So, this is unpaired electron. This is unpaired electron. Therefore, molecular orbitals having unpaired electron, that is why. So, that is a paramagnetic. So, therefore, O2 molecule is a paramagnetic. So, that O2 paramagnetic nature is only explained by this MOTN. No other theory explains the paramagnetic nature of O2 molecule. The one and only theory that explains paramagnetic nature of O2 molecule is MOT, molecular orbital theory. Molecular orbital theory. It is very, very important. Okay, next. So, now count the number of bonding electrons and number of anti-bonding electrons. So, those are helpful to calculate the bond order. What is bond order? That is the number of bonds between two atoms in the molecule. That is bond order. So, that bond order is calculated with the help of, so I am writing the formula, boys. I am writing here, bond order is equal to 1 by 2 into bonding electrons minus anti-bonding electrons. That is, bonding electrons means those are the number of electrons present in bonding orbitals. Number of bonding electrons. So, anti-bonding electrons means those are the electrons present in anti-bonding orbitals. So, someone asked, sir, how to explain the paramagnetic nature? See, boys, we consider only molecular orbitals. We consider only molecular orbitals. In these molecular orbitals, is there any unpaired electron? If molecular orbitals having at least one unpaired electron, that molecule we consider as a paramagnetic. If all are paired, all these electrons are paired, automatically that is considered as a diamagnetic. Diamagnetic. See here is paired. But it is these two are unpaired electrons. These two are unpaired electrons. That means O2 molecular is having unpaired electrons. So any species having unpaired electron, if at least one unpaired electron is a paramagnetic one. That is a O2 molecule is a paramagnetic. So if these two unpaired electrons are not available, that means all others are paired up and that is their O2 is considered as diamagnetic. But there is two unpaired electrons. So that's why, which is a paramagnetic. Now, I am trying to calculate bond order. That means how many bonds are present between oxygen and oxygen in O2 molecule. No doubt we know there is a double bond between oxygen and oxygen. That means bond order in O2 molecule is 2 and. So that is calculated with the help of this formula, this diagram. With the help of this diagram. See here. So bond order is equal to 1 by 2 bonding electrons. See boys, this is bonding end. This is bonding end. These are bonding end. These are bonding. These bonding. This one is bonding end. So count the number of bonding electrons. So 2, 4, 4 plus 6, 10. 10 bonding electrons minus anti-bonding electrons. So 2, this is anti-bonding. It is 2, anti-bonding. These are the 2, anti-bonding. 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6 N. That is, so 4 by 2, which is equal to 2. Therefore, there exists a double bond between oxygen and oxygen. So in O2 molecule, the bond order between two oxygen atoms is 2. Bond order is 2. So that is calculated with the help of this formula. How to calculate bond order? Bond order is equal to 1 by 2 number of electrons present in the bonding orbitals minus number of electrons present in the anti-bonding orbitals. Number of electrons present in the anti-bonding orbitals. Okay. If bond order increases, number of bonds between the atoms increases. As the number of bonds increases, that means the attraction between those two atoms increases. That means bond strength increases. That means it is difficult to break those bonds. That means bond energy increases. Therefore, see boys, bond energy is inversely proportional to bond order. More is the bond order, less is the bond energy. Sorry. Bond energy is directly proportional to bond order. More bonds, more energy is required to break that bond. Less bonds, less is the bond energy. Okay, so bond energy is always directly proportional to bond order. So calculate bond order. So which one has the greatest bond order? Means more bond order is equal to more bond energy. More bonds are there, automatically it is required more energy to break those bonds. That is the bond energy. Next, as the number of bonds increases, attraction between the atoms increases. As attraction increases, distance between the atoms decreases. Am I correct? As the number of bonds increases, attraction between the atoms increases. As the attraction increases, the distance between those two atoms decreases. That is, the bond length decreases. That means the bond length decreases. Therefore, bond length is inversely proportional to bond order. Bond length is inversely proportional to bond order. Bond length is inversely proportional to bond order. So, see my dear boys, tell me, is O2 molecule paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Waiting for you. Is O2 molecule paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Yes, para. Why it is para? Why it is para? Why it is para? Because of unpaired electrons. Good. How many unpaired electrons are there? Is this in atomic orbitals? You calculate unpaired electrons in atomic orbitals or in molecular orbitals? Did you calculate those unpaired electrons in atomic orbitals or in molecular orbitals? Tell me first of all. Is this in molecular or atomic orbitals? Yes. Good. Molecular orbitals. Only in molecular orbitals. So molecular orbitals having unpaired electrons, then only. So we consider paramagnetic. So now, how much is the magnetic moment is there? The quantity of magnetic power. How much is the magnetic moment is there? That magnetic moment is calculated by using the formula. Magnetic moment mu is equal to, it is a symbol for magnetic moment. Magnetic moment mu is equal to under root n into n plus 2 Bohr magnet tensor. It is the formula used to calculate magnetic moment. So mu is equal to under root n into n plus 2 Bohr magnet tensor. So now here n is equal to number of unpaired electrons, boys. Unpaired electrons. How many unpaired electrons are there? 2 unpaired electrons in it. Therefore, in this case, n is equal to 2. Therefore, mu is equal to under root 2 into 2 plus 2. That is under root 2 into 4. That is root 8. Root 8 is the magnetic moment. So root 8 means 2 root 2. So that is a 2 root 2. It's Bohr magnetons. BM means Bohr magnetons. That is the units of that magnetic moment. So magnetic moment of mu is equal to under root n into n plus 2 Bohr magnetons. It is the formula used to calculate magnetic moment. So what is that n? N is nothing but number of unpaired electrons in molecular orbitals. If n is equal to 0 means the number of unpaired electrons is equal to 0. Number of unpaired electrons is equal to 0 means mu is equal to 0. If mu is equal to 0, that is diamagnetic. That is the diamagnetic. It is the way to calculate magnetic moment. Magnetic moments. So having unpaired electrons, paramagnetic. Having no unpaired electrons, diamagnetic. So how much is the paramagnetic is there? That is calculated by using the formula mu is equal to under root n into n plus 2 Bohr magnetic. So here n is the number of unpaired electrons. Here n is the its strength. How much is the magnetic strength? That is the magnetic moment. Okay. So this is the way to express the concept. So now I'm trying to demonstrate for 14 electrons or less than 14 electrons. And now the concept is applicable for so less than or equal to 14 electrons. I'm taking n molecule as an example. N molecule as an example. Here, there is a nitrogen combined with nitrogen that gives into molecules. Nitrogen, its Z value is equal to 7. This nitrogen or Z value is equal to 7. Means it contains 7 electrons. It one also has 7 electrons. Altogether, it's a 40 electron system. Altogether, it's a 40 electron 7. Okay. Now, so this concept is applicable only for less than 15%. So it is applicable for 14 electrons or less than 14 electrons. See here. Just like O2 molecule, and just a difference in it. See here. So here nitrogen atom, nitrogen atomic orbitals. In this direction, potential energy increases, boys. Potential energy increases. So here also nitrogen atomic orbitals are exist. Okay, so nitrogen, our electronic configuration is 1s2, 1s orbital having 2 electrons, 2s2, 2s orbital having 2 electrons, 2p3. 2p3 means so 3 unpaired electrons. It is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3 from first nitrogen. Their nitrogen same there. So this energy and that energy is the same energy. So this is 1s2. These two energies are also same there. Two s2, 2p3. These two also same energy. P3. These are the atomic orbitals. 1s2, 2s2, 2p. These are the atomic orbitals. So combination of these two orbitals gives two new orbitals. One having more energy, another having less energy. So see here, this is the more energetical orbital. This is the less energetical orbital. So these two are from these two orbitals. This is sigma 1s orbital. It is sigma star 1s orbital. Sigma 1s, sigma star 1s. Okay, so now, so 2s and 2s combination, 2 mixed, 2 produced, 1 is above, 1 is below. One is below, 1 is above. So it is sigma 2s, sigma star 2s. Okay, just like in previous, just like in O2. Now 2p and 2p. So total 6 are mixed. 3 having low energy, 3 having high energy. 3 having low energy, 3 having high energy. See here. That is, so in O2 case, 2 orbitals having lower energy and 1 orbital having higher energy. It is the reverse of previous case. Reverse of previous case. So next here is the same as it is, just like in O2. So pi to px, pi to py. Yes, it's clear. Pi to px, pi to py. Now it is sigma to pz. Sigma to pz. Next, this one, pi star to px, pi star to py. It is sigma star to pz. Sigma star to pz. Okay, so these from this is the case. Now, see boys, the one and only difference between this O2 and N2 is this one. This is the area. That is the area only difference. So in O2 case, so these are reversed. In O2, these are reversed. In N2, these are like this. So it is applicable for less than or equal to 14 electrons. This system is applicable for less than or equal to 14 electrons. So first of all, count the number of electrons. So if it is less than 14 electrons or equal to 14 electrons, draw picture like this. If it is greater than 14 electrons, at least 15. Yes, 14 also applicable. Nitrogen is 14. That's why it is like this. 15 electrons are there, also applicable O2 molecule. O2 molecule diagram. Okay, so see here, I am distributing the electrons. So 2 plus 2, 4, 4. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the electrons distribution. Now 2 plus 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next 3 plus 3, 6. 1, 2. Each orbital filled with one electron, and then pairing place 4, 5, 6. So this is the electronic configuration. See, what is the electronic configuration? Sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, next sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, next pi 2px2, pi 2px2, pi 2py2, pi 2py2, sigma 2pz2. This is the electronic configuration of these molecular orbitals. All these are molecular orbitals of N2 molecule, my dear boys. All these are. So this is the molecular orbitals electronic configuration. So sigma 1s2, sigma star 1s2, sigma 2s2, sigma star 2s2, pi 2px2, pi 2py2, sigma 2pz2. Okay. Now tell me, is this paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Tell me, is this paramagnetic or diamagnetic? When a molecule paramagnetic having unpaired electron. Is there any unpaired electron? No only. Therefore, so here no unpaired electron. Therefore, N2 diamagnetic. N2 diamagnetic. Exactly correct, boys. So how much is the mu value? Mu is equal to how much? Mu means under, yes, good. Number under root n into n plus 2. N value 0. Therefore, here n is equal to, mu is equal to 0. No magnetic moment. No magnetic moment. Now calculate the bond order. Bond order. How much is the bond order? So number of bonding electrons. Bonding electrons. This is bonding. This is bonding. These are bonding. 2 plus 2 plus 6. 10. Minus 2 plus 2, only 4. 10 minus 4 by 2, that is 6 by 2, which is equal to 3. Therefore, a triple bond existing between, a triple bond, that means between nitrogen and nitrogen, there is a triple bond. There is a triple bond. Okay, so this is N2 molecule. N2 molecule. Okay, now what is the energy order, my dear boys? Orbitals energy order. So energy order is sigma 1s less than, sigma star 1s less than, sigma 2s less than, sigma star 2s less than, pi 2px is equal to pi 2py. Pi 2px is equal to pi 2py, which is less than sigma 2pz. Sigma 2pz less than pi star 2px is equal to pi star 2py is equal to pi star 2py, which is less than sigma star 2pz. This is the energy order. This is the energy order. Okay, this one is represented as K. This is taken as K star. K star, and then same. And then same. So this is the N2 diagram. Not only N2, those orbitals having less than or equal to 14 electrons. This diagram is applicable. Less than or 14 electrons. Now I'm trying. See boys, listen carefully once again. I'm readjusting. So now I'm trying for N2 plus. Now I'm trying for N2 plus. N2 plus means from N2 molecule remove one electron. Plus means loss of electron. One electron, remove it. So any one of these, it is N plus. So remove one electron from it. That means one electron is decreased. One electron decreased means remove one electron. Is this paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Tell me. Yes, paramagnetic. It is for N2 plus. Now N2 plus bond order is equal to how much? N2 plus bond order is equal to. Yes, correct boys. N2 plus bond order means how much is the bond order? So bonding electrons, that is 2 plus 2 plus 5 that is a 9 minus 2 plus 2 4 9 plus 4 by 2 that is a 5 by 2 5 by 2 means 2.5 2.5, that means fractional bond order. Whenever a fractional bond order is there, that molecule is unstable. That molecule is unstable, boys. It is very, very important. Okay, so 2.5. Now I'm trying N2 plus 2 N2 plus 2 So remove one more electron. And this one I'm trying N2 plus remove one more electron. So remove one more electron. Is this paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Yes, diamagnetic. N2 plus 2 is diamagnetic. Now what is the bond order? What is the bond order? What is the bond order? Is this? So that is 8 minus bond order is equal to 8 minus 4 by 2 that is 2 and bond order is equal to 2 Bond order is equal to 2 So that means so like this. Now it is N2 boys. It is N2. Once again I am representing N2. This is N2. I am trying for N2 minus What it means? What is it means? N2 minus. N2 minus means add one electron. Add one electron. I am adding here one electron added. This is N minus N minus N2 plus N2 minus So one more electron is here. One more electron, additional electron is here. Is this paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Yes, paramagnetic. How much is the bond order in this case? In this case, bond order is equal to how much? Bond order 2 plus 6, 10 minus 2 plus 2 plus 1 5 by 2 That is 5 by 2, which is equal to 2.5 5 by 2, 2.5 So see boys, N2 plus has N2 plus 2 has a 2.2 bond angle. See here. Where is N2 plus 2.5, N2 minus also having 2.5. Both is having same bond order, but N2 minus is less stable than N2 plus. Why, sir? So if electrons present in the antibonding orbitals, those are less stable. So here N2 minus case, there is an antibonding electron. So presence of this antibonding electron, the stability of this species decreases. Therefore, so even though N2 minus and N2 plus having same bond orders, N2 minus is less stable than N2 plus because N2 minus has an antibonding electron, extra antibonding electron. So that means the presence of antibonding electron decreases the stability. So this is the way to express. I am explaining. Now N2 minus 2. Tell me, boys. N2 minus 2. N2 minus 2. Minus 2 means, so this one also minus one more electron added here. One more electron added here. Okay, it is paramagnetic. So N2 minus 2 means how many electrons? How many electrons? So 14 plus one more 2 electrons and 18 14 plus 2, 16 electrons. It is similar to O2 It is similar to O2 So N2 minus 2 having 16 electrons. O2 also having 16 electrons. Electrons are same. Alphabetically, bond order is also same. And those species are called as isoelectronic species. Isoelectronic species having same bond order. So O2 has 16 electrons, N2 minus 2 also having 16 electrons. So therefore, O2 bond order is 2, N2 minus 2 also bond order 2 only. But N2 minus 2 is less stable than O2 only. So because it is negatively charged and 2 more electrons are added, so that means it has less stability. Okay, it is the way to decide magnetic property, bond order, and energy order. So like this, energy order. So like this. Okay, so is this clear or not? So I am trying to draw He2 molecule. He2 molecule. That means helium plus helium. Helium. Atomic number Z is equal to 2. 2 means 1s2 is the electronic coefficient. 1s2. Okay, I am trying here. This is the energy increasing order, my dear boys. Potential energy. So this is 1s orbital of helium having 2 electrons. This is also 1s orbital of helium having 2 electrons. So these two combine with each other and form one orbital having more energy, one orbital having less energy. So it is the simplest diagram. So 1s2, 1s2. So this is helium atomic orbital. This is helium atomic orbital. It is He2 molecular orbital. He2 molecular orbital. So now distribute these electrons. It is sigma 1s orbital. This is also sigma star 1s orbital. So upper orbital always star end. That is anti-bonding end. Anti-bonding end. So always a bonding orbital's energy is less than that of anti-bonding orbital's energy order. Okay. So in between these two, non-bonding orbitals are there. Non-bonding. Therefore, order of bonding orbitals is bonding orbitals, non-bonding orbitals, anti-bonding orbitals. Now distribute these electrons. 2 plus 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Is this paramagnetic or diamagnetic, boys? Is this He2 molecule paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Yes, diamagnetic. There is no unpaired electron. There is no unpaired electron. Now calculate the bond order. Bond order is equal to number of bonding electrons minus number of anti-bonding electrons by 2. Number of bonding electrons minus number of anti-bonding electrons by 2. So bonding electrons is equal to how much? These are bonding electrons, 2 only. Minus these are anti-bonding 2. 2 minus 2 by 2, which is equal to 0 only. That means there is no bond between the helium and helium. So there is helium, there is helium. How many bonds are present between helium and helium? No bond. No bond. So no bond is there. That means helium itself exists there, not combined with each other. That means so no bond order. Bond order is not exist. Therefore, so those molecules having bond order is equal to 0 not exist. Bond order 0 not exist. Therefore, He2 molecule not existent. Therefore, so in some cases, which of the following species not exist? Not exist means those bond order is equal to 0. Okay, which one is more stable? Which one is not stable? So bond order is a integer, that is more stable. If it is a fraction, that is less stable. So fraction values are same. So those orbitals having more number of unpaired electrons, more number of electrons in anti-bonding orbitals, that is least stable. Anti-bonding electrons decreases the stability of the species. Decreases the stability of the species. Okay. So this is the way to express why He2 molecule not exist. Why He2 molecule not exist? As per MOT, so bond order is equal to 0. Therefore, those molecules having bond order is equal to 0. There is no bond between those two atoms. That is why the molecule not exist. That is why the molecule not existent. So this is the way. So which molecules are exist, which molecules are not exist. So it is a better period. It is a better period than that of previous series to explain the magnetic properties of the molecules or species, whatever it may be. Okay. So this is MOT and now atomic orbitals combination gives molecular orbitals. Those may be bonding orbitals, those may be anti-bonding orbitals. How these bonding orbitals and anti-bonding orbitals are formed? So I'm going to give some pictures. So those gives bonding orbitals and those gives anti-bonding orbitals. How those are possible? I'm giving some pictures. See here. Manoj, it is not possible to explain that HCl, that is covalent molecule. So later I will explain. Please wait. Finally, boys, atomic orbitals of different atoms having same energy are involved in mixing. See here, it is one atom, there is one atom. These two atoms energy, same energy orbitals are going to mix it. Atomic orbitals have different atoms having same energy are mixed. How many new orbitals are produced? Same number of new orbitals are produced. So same number means so half of the orbitals having more energy, half of the orbitals having less energy. Okay, more energetic orbitals are called as anti-bonding orbitals, less energetic orbitals are called as bonding orbitals. Less energetic orbitals are called as bonding orbitals. So generally, bonding orbitals are more stable than anti-bonding orbitals. Okay, so more electrons are present in bonding orbitals, so those are more stable. So more electrons are present in anti-bonding orbitals, those are less stable. So electrons presence in anti-bonding orbitals decreases the stability. Now I am trying to draw. So that is bonding orbitals and anti-bonding orbitals. How these are mixed? So what are the shapes of these bonding and anti-bonding orbitals? See here. So s orbital and s orbital. S orbital and s orbital. This is nucleus. It is positive part of s orbital. It is another s orbital. Right? It is its nucleus positive part. Okay. So these two are added. That addition gives bonding orbitals. Addition gives bonding orbitals. Subtraction gives anti-bonding orbitals. So that means these two are addition gives. So this is its nucleus, this is its nucleus, total positive charge. It is sigma 1s orbital. It is 1s orbital. It is 1s orbital. This is sigma 1s orbital. That is bonding orbital. Now anti-bonding orbital. This is 1s orbital. It is positive. This is 1s orbital. It is negative one. So it is subtraction. Subtraction gives anti-bonding orbitals. Anti-bonding orbitals. Okay, this one also positive. And subtraction any anti-bonding orbitals. That means repulsion exists. Repulsion exists. This is positive. This is positive. This is nucleus. It is nucleus. So this is sigma star 1s orbital. There is a repulsion. Because of repulsion, those orbitals are like that. Those are anti-bonding orbitals having high energy. Having high energy. Next, p orbitals. If p orbitals are involved in bonding, so see here, p orbitals have two lobes. One is positive lobe, another one is negative lobe. Let it be. Next, this one combined with another p orbital. This is positive, this is negative. These two positive lobes are two negative lobes, any one of them. So positive lobes are going to be added. Now addition takes place. Addition takes place. That gives bonding orbitals. So how it is? See here. Like this. Like this. This is minus. This is minus. So this is plus. This is plus. So this is sigma bonding. So sigma bonding. Sigma orbital. Sigma I think 2pz orbital. Let it be. 2pz orbital. Now, so it is plus, it is minus. This is minus, this is plus, boys. Minus and plus are interact with each other. Minus and plus are interact with each other. So here, subtraction takes place, anti-bonding orbitals are formed. How it is? That is like this. Like this end. So this is minus plus. This is minus plus end. Minus plus. So this is the way that gives sigma star to pz end. This is pz orbital, boys. 2pz orbital, 2pz orbital. Z-axis is the angle, that is the bond formed angle, direction. Therefore, that is the sigma star 2pz. Now, pi end. Pi orbital. See here. How a pi molecular orbital is formed? It is pi molecular orbitals only from p orbitals, my dear boys. So sideways overlapping. This is plus, this is plus, this is minus, this is minus. These two are combined. That gives addition. Addition. That gives molecular orbital. That means, so this is the axis. Here is total positive. It is total negative. It is total negative, which is taken as pi bonding orbital. Pi bonding orbital. Okay. Next. So anti-bonding case. This is p orbital plus minus. This is p orbital minus plus and reverse end. So these two are going to be subtracted. That gives anti-bonding orbitals. So that means this is the way ending. So plus, minus, minus, plus end. Those are the anti-bonding orbitals, boys. So it is pi anti-bonding ending. Pi anti-bonding orbitals. So that means when they are combined, so like this orbitals are formed. So this is bonding, this is anti-bonding in case of s orbital. So this is bonding, it is anti-bonding in case of sigma molecular orbitals. This is bonding, this is anti-bonding in case of pi molecular orbitals. In case of pi molecular orbitals. So this is the way when molecules are going to, orbitals are going to be combined. Combined. 1s, 1s mixed end, but not 1s, 2s. Because they have different energies. 2s, 2s mixed end, but not 2s and 1s. Okay. So that means orbitals having same energy are going to be mixed. Orbitals having same energy are going to be mixed. Okay. So this is very, very important. So this is N2 diagram and O2 diagram. And N2 diagram and O2 diagram. So helium diagrams. So bond order, as bond order increases, see here, as bond order increases, bond energy increases, bond length decreases, stability increases. As bond order increases, bond energy increases, bond length decreases, stability increases. So these are the most important cases. How to calculate bond order? Bond order is equal to 1 by 2 number of bonding electrons minus number of anti-bonding electrons. Number of bonding electrons minus number of anti-bonding electrons. Magnetic moment mu is calculated with the help of under root n into n plus 2 Bohr magnetons. Under root n into n plus 2 Bohr magnetons. Okay, here n is equal to number of unpaired electrons and number of unpaired electrons. So these are the major points during MOT and MO diagrams. So this is for homoatomic molecules. So heteroatomic molecules also like this. So see here, I am trying to draw heteroatomic molecules, MO diagram. I am taking heteroatomic molecules. The example is NO only. NO. So nitrogen combined with oxygen. So total number of electrons are nitrogen 7, oxygen 8, which is 15 Ne, greater than 14 electrons, follows O2 diagram and follows O2 diagram. So I'm drawing O2 diagram and one side nitrogen, it is atomic orbitals of nitrogen, another side oxygen, atomic orbitals of oxygen. That is nitrogen. 1s2, 2s2, 2p3 1s2, 2s2, 2p3 it is for nitrogen. Next oxygen, write the electronic configuration for oxygen. 1s2, 2s2, 2p4 2p4 1 2 3 4 2p4 nitrogen oxygen combination gives NO. This is bond, that is molecular orbitals of NO. Molecular orbitals of NO. So these two combinations gives one upper orbital, one lower orbital. That is sigma star, it is 2s. So it is sigma 2s. Next, it gives one upper orbital, one lower orbital. It is sigma 2s, it is sigma star 2s. Next, this gives, see boys, I am following O2. O2 means, so 1, 2, 1. It is 2, 1, like this. So it is sigma 2pz, it is pi 2px, pi 2pyn. It is pi star 2px, pi star 2py. It is sigma star 2pz. Sigma star. I am following O2 diagram because it is greater than 14. Greater than 14. Okay. So now electrons addition. Electrons addition. Filling up those electrons. So there are how many electrons? 15 electrons are there in it. So see here. 2 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 plus 4. Total 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. So is this paramagnetic or diamagnetic, boys? Is this paramagnetic or diamagnetic? Yes, yes, paramagnetic. How much is the bond order? Bond order. Bond order is equal to 2 plus 2 plus 6, 10 minus. So 2 plus 2 plus 1, 5. That is by 2. So 2.5 is the bond order. 2.5 is the bond order. Now magnetic moment mu is equal to how much? Magnetic moment mu is equal to, so under root n into n plus 2. How many unpaired electrons? Only one unpaired electron. Under root 1 into 1 plus 2. That is equal to root 3, 1.732 Bohr magnets. 1.732 Bohr magnets. So this is the way to calculate bond order, bond energy like this. Okay. So it is very, very unstable energy. So, but exists, boys. If mu that is value is 0, bond order is 0, that is not exist. But NO molecule is existent. NO molecule is exist. Okay. So this is MO diagrams and MOT period. So for what purpose? It is to explain the paramagnetic nature of O2 molecule. It is total. The concept is based on, that is the Schrodinger's wave equation. That is quantum mechanical model of an atom. Quantum mechanical model of an atom. So generally, see boys, generally psi is the wave function. So electron wave we are considered as psi. In atom A, the electron, that is electron wave function is taken as psi A. Atom B, wave function is taken as psi B. Now psi A plus psi B wave functions is taken as the combination gives psi molecular orbital. Psi A minus psi B, that subtraction gives psi it is bonding orbital. It is anti-bonding orbital. So addition gives bonding orbital, subtraction gives anti-bonding orbital. Subtraction gives anti-bonding orbital. So that is why those orbitals are added and sometimes subtracted. So because of this electron cause, that is electron wavelength. Psi is nothing but wave function of electron. Wave function of electron. So these are we will explain in atomic structure. That is not completed yet. That is why I am neglecting this concept. So at the time of atomic structure, I will explain the concept once again. Okay. So psi means electron. Psi is the wave function. Electron wave function. Psi is the electron wave function. Okay, this is the end of MO diagram. Number of bits are there. I will send the problems. I will send the problems and some the number of bits and with including theory. Please read yourself. Please read yourself and do the problems. So if you have any doubts, so anytime ask only in WhatsApp group and only in WhatsApp group up to 5:30 our chemistry study hour. So my dear boys, I will send right now the material only in your WhatsApp group. I'm sending WhatsApp groups. So notes is there, bits are also there at last. Please complete yourself. Okay, bye. Thank you.